You either is or you ain't. You do or you don't. You can or you can't. Or you will or you won't. Either way, baby, a good man, well, he's hard to find. Welcome to the One More for the Good Guys podcast, where good guys gather to shed light on the good life, the people, and the good things that make it that way. I'm Mike McGill with my co-host, Jamie Akins. Now, raise your glass, lend us your ear, and let's have one more for the good guys. Now, sorry, don't cut it when it's every other time. Hey, everybody, McGill Billy here.
And I am Jamie.
Welcome to One More for the Good Guys. Maybe you're a first-time viewer. Maybe you're coming back and you've been in it for the long haul. At either one of those, we appreciate it. We thank you for coming back. We thank you for tuning in. We'll get all that out of the way like we do each and every week. Thank you so much for all the support that you show us through our social media pages, as well as the podcast and here on YouTube. If you haven't done that yet, please you can find us anywhere on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, however you want to say it, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow. It is an absolutely free, easy way to help the channel, and I can promise you it absolutely does help the channel and our cause.
And our blood pressure.
Yeah, and our blood pressure. Today, we're talking about something that's near and dear to both of our hearts. We're big baseball fans, and guess what? Opening day is right around the corner. And before we get into the heart of talking about our opening day and little fun facts and things that we've found, each and every week we always try to share a new what we're smoking with you, because we do smoke cigars on this channel. But we are smoking, and we've already started, so I don't have a really good picture of we've already ashed, so I'll show you one right here straight from the pack.
This is a company out of Nashville called Crowned Heads. And we just started doing some business with them, and we've smoked some of their stuff, and we really liked it. And this is no exception at all. This is the Juarez, which is
this is in the OBS size,
which is
just a hair shorter than a regular Robusto.
Yeah.
4.75 by 52. And if you notice, the Juarez is named with Crowned Heads, Crowned Heads being a Nashville-based company. The fellas are big Johnny Cash fans. And if you remember the old tune, Cocaine Blues, where they overran him down in Juarez, Mexico, well, that's where this comes from. As well as the OBS stands for Orange Blossom Special, which primarily was known as the instrumental tune. And then when Cash released it as a single, he actually had lyrics to it. So, he was going down to Florida and get some sand in his shoes.
So it's 3 different sizes. Right.
They have 3 different sizes in the Juarez. They have the OBS, which we are smoking here, and they have the Willie Lee, which is a regular Toro size,
which is from the Cocaine Blues song.
Yes,
and the other one's the Jack Brown
6 by 54, and the Jack Brown size is a 5 by 56,
which is a Grand Robusto, I guess. That is it's funny. If we get to talk to them, I want to ask them why 2 of the names of the sizes are based on the song. including the name of the cigar itself, the Juarez, but the OBS is from another song. Wonder why they didn't, because OBS is just as arbitrary as
the only, I don't know this for sure,
yeah.
But the only thing I could think of was maybe it was an album cut on the same album. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
well, that's a good theory.
A total guess.
That's a good theory, and that would make sense. But I mean, from that song
thing, and to be quite honest with you, OBS. I mean, because I played bluegrass music for so long, and that was such a popular fiddle instrumental tune that when I seen that, I kept wondering what OBS, and then I just happened to think Cash had such a unique version of Orange Blossom Special
with lyrics.
And if you're making out set lists and you're in a bluegrass band, you don't write out Orange Blossom Special. You write OBS on the set list. So
if you don't know what that is, then you're the rookie.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're not Willie Lee. Your name's Jack Brown, and you're the one that shot that bad bitch down.
Yeah, I mean, they could have got one of the sizes, the BB.
Yeah. So,
there you go. So,
but very good cigar. From the taste and notes from that we got is it's a great marriage of Dominican and Nicaraguan long filler tobaccos tucked inside of an Ecuador Sumatra wrapper, finished off in a dark Maduro San Andres wrapper.
The Ecuadorian Sumatra is the binder,
yes,
which is unique. It's not something you see a lot,
or
at least I don't see it a lot, and it kind of knocks off a little bit of the edge of it a little. I really like this smoke. I mean, it's
from the things it says here. Now, it may change up in this Willie Lee size, but in the OBS size, overall, it says bold notes of coffee bean, herbs, and nuts mingle with an undercurrent of cocoa and oak. I get the cocoa. I get the coffee bean.
Oak, not so much.
Oak, not so much. I don't really get nuts that much.
No, neither.
And you would think this might be, this is a very approachable cigar. I was thinking chocolate, and full in strength, full in flavor. It's very flavorful. You do get some like baking chocolate. You get some cocoa. A
little bit of pepper as you get down to the middle here. More,
not what I thought we were going to
No,
get.
we thought
it was going to be, a big pepper blast right off the light up, but
it's not.
First, as I first got it fired up, I took a full drag and a full retro hell, and it didn't hurt me one bit whatsoever. Mm-mm. And you don't do a lot of that, and you did the same thing, and it didn't bother you.
Yeah, I retro hell in a smoke about three or four times. You do it more than that, don't you?
Oh God, I'm like Carrillo. I just suck it down, blow it out. If I could retro it out my butthole, I'd do that. If it was any better. But yeah, I retro hell quite a bit actually. But the Juarez in the OBS size, again, 4.75 by 52. So far, so good. We're into the second third of this thing now. And again, the first third of it was, it had some sweetness, some nice sweetness to it. And, a lot of times I've heard this, and I don't know how true it is, but I've heard this by other guys that are, who I think are very good at doing these tasting note things, is a lot of times pepper can be misconstrued, or that'd be the right way to say it. Pepper sometimes can be misconstrued as citrus.
Really?
That's what I've heard. That's what Mr. Jonathan on the Cigar Authority says about it. And,
Wow.
and I take those guys' words just about to heart on everything and anything they say. They definitely are the authority. But I could get a little bit of that citrus
maybe
sweetness
a little. Yeah.
in the beginning. So maybe that's what it was. But
everybody's palate's different. I mean, that's the thing, beauty of it is that, you know.
But all in all, a really, so far so good, man. This is a really approachable, nice cigar that if I ask you the right questions and you told me some of the things you like in like coffees and your favorite meals and things like that, you know, that's a lot of times how we can create, or we can come up with a cigar to maybe mirror your palate by just little things like that. But I think anybody can smoke this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's
medium to medium full, medium much so, or medium in strength, I would say 4 or 5.
Maybe a 6.
Maybe a 6. So 5, 6.
Yeah. I'd say medium, middle of the road. I'd say on a medium full on flavor, though, because it's
for sure
very good. But I think, like you said, it's very approachable. I wouldn't have hesitated at all to hand this to a beginner.
No, I don't think I would either.
I don't think I would.
I tell them to go slow.
That's what I was going to say. I'd just say, hey, take your time. But this is not one that's going to sneak up on you and, you know, have you praying to the porcelain god.
No.
Yeah.
I will say this. I love it. This wrapper I have is pretty toothy. And I always love it when the wrapper is toothy enough that the ash has tooth on it too.
You had one like that earlier today, didn't you?
I had one like that last night for sure. The Monte Cristo 1935 Nicaragua.
The AJ.
Oh, man. What a cigar. Any rate, really good so far. So we'll smoke it on down and let you know what we think about it and where you can find them and all that good stuff. But for now,
Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball. How happy are you to see baseball coming, buddy?
Man, I tell you what, I'm really happy. One, and of course that opening day keeps creeping earlier and earlier every year. Next thing you know, it'll be in February. But you know that it wasn't a bad. We had through October, and then we had 3 or 4 months off, and then the college started up, man. And it's kind of baseball 8 months to 9 months out of the year now. I'm excited for the pro stuff. I'll say this about it. I'm less excited about Major League opening day than I have been because I appreciate the college game and we're being successful at it. So that helps that we're winning's contagious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of storylines this year, a lot of them.
Yeah, I think so. I think being here in Tennessee and being a Volunteer fan and us coming off of, being the reigning national champion, I think, and being really good for the last several years.
Since Vitello showed up, basically.
Yeah. And having so much success over the last, 4 to 6 seasons, I'd say. Any rate, it's a good entry level. It's a good entryway.
Good appetizer for the pro
There you go.
game, right?
Thank you.
It's nachos.
You nailed it.
It's nachos.
You nailed popcorn, peanut, Kobe. So get you in the mood for the ball games.
I miss vendors that would come in the stands. That's not something you see much.
You don't see it very much. And it's weird. Wonder why they don't have them over at the stadium, at the baseball stadium, at Lindsey Nelson Stadium.
Not deep enough, the stands. I mean, hell, where would they walk? Be behind you, have to.
I don't know, but they do. They still do it at the football game.
Yeah. It's got that big walkway down there in between.
Well, you got that, and I guess you got 100,000 fans, but you would think they would be. I mean, $15 a fucking beer. You'd think they'd be out there having somebody slinging those things.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. I told Don last night
At least
that,
peanuts, beers, hot dogs, Cokes.
but how damn convenient is it at that stadium to get one? All you got to do is turn around. It's right there.
Yeah, it is pretty nice.
It's a great looking field, but the stadium feels small enough to where I can get to one side of it real quick. It's nice. That's my first time there.
Yeah.
And
really?
Inside, yeah.
Okay.
And I
didn't
was
realize that.
I was very impressed. I mean, the seats are great too. They're big enough for my big ass and deep enough. Listen, go to a Tennessee ball game. We're not talking about that, but yes, Major League Baseball opening day. I got to see my first Major League Baseball game that I ever went to was opening day.
Oh, really?
It was the Cubs versus the Braves in Atlanta.
Okay, so would that have been?
Hank Aaron threw out the first pitch. So it was like 07.
Oh, okay.
I think. Or
so that would have been
maybe a little later. But
that wouldn't have been. Golly,
it's not the stadium now. It's the one before.
Yeah,
that one, which was great. That was a great stadium, by the way.
Oh, I thought it was too. I got to see. That was my first Major League baseball game. Was at that stadium. Actually, one of those.
Yeah, me too.
If you can see back there, the glove with the two baseballs there. Have a really good story about that. We'll share it with you at some point in time. But one of the balls came from that game.
Who did they play?
The Marlins.
Okay.
I believe it was the Marlins. Yeah, it was the Marlins. It was Braves and Marlins.
Great field, great stadium. And the seats that I had for my first ever baseball game were in the very back, and they were made. I was with some people that needed handicap access, and here's how I got a beer. I turned around, and the beer guy, I could touch him. I like, hey,
yeah,
he ran out. That's how close he was.
Oh wow, nice.
Ran out of beer. Anyway, it was a great experience.
What I was trying to ask you, and I couldn't remember the name of the field to save my life. Was it the old Fulton County Stadium? That's what I was trying to ask. I didn't know how it. I didn't realize it was in 07. I thought it might have been when you were a kid. You got to go down.
No,
there
I didn't get to do that. You're going to read something here about a funnier thing about opening day too. My dad's baseball experience was the day after Aaron broke the record.
Oh,
it was the game after.
Wow.
He said there wasn't nobody there. So his first experience was a Braves game, and so was ours.
Baseball immortality.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the day after.
Wow.
So he tells that story, but
that's a great story.
Yeah.
I pulled up a few fun facts about opening day. Out of all the teams, the best opening day winning percentage is for the Mets. Mets had the best opening day winning percentage at .651.
That's not how you start, how you finish.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Go Yankees.
The Mets have won 41 of 55 openers, including the first game of their World Series winning season in 1986, giving them the best opening day record in MLB history. Another interesting fun fact, if you will, Bob Feller threw the only opening day no-hitter on April 16th, 1940. Bob Feller played with the Cleveland Indians, threw a no-hitter against the Chicago White Sox in a 1-0 win.
Do you know it's not the Guardians?
Was not the Guardians, which remains the only opening day no-hitter in MLB history.
That's pretty impressive.
I feel like I should be using my baseball voice reading these.
I feel like that is an amazing stat.
It is
because you would think, well, maybe not. You probably never see that again since they don't pitch more than 4 innings.
Oh, no.
You might get a combined no hitter. but you're not going to get a full no-hitter maybe ever again. Got to protect them,
As you mentioned earlier, Hank Aaron tied Babe Ruth's home run record on opening day. In 1974, Hank Aaron of the Atlanta Braves hit his 714th home run on opening day, tying Babe Ruth's career home run record. He later surpassed Ruth's record that week and finished his career with 755 home runs.
Without a single steroid.
Yes. And his head never grew an inch.
Also the all-time leader in what? RBIs, I believe.
If you say so.
Pretty sure. Not many people with 2,000 RBIs in baseball. It's like there ain't many. And Ruth ain't one of them. They didn't play long enough, I don't think.
Opening day is also used as a symbol of rebirth for a lot of baseball fans. Many fans view opening day as a fresh start, a chance to forget the previous season and begin anew, with all teams starting with 0-0 records. The Detroit Tigers hosted their first game as a franchise on April 25th, 1901.
That last stat's interesting. That's a name from our past that we saw a lot right there.
Jack Morris started his record-setting 14th consecutive opening day on April 6, 1993. And of course, Jack Morris being
great pitcher.
Movie Tigers. Made about his life.
Was there?
The Rookie with Dennis Quaid.
That's Jack Morris?
Yeah, that was a story. I believe that's right.
I didn't know that.
Double check.
Jack Morris is the guy that pitched for Detroit and pitched for Toronto.
He was a school teacher.
I don't think it's the same guy. But I've been wrong multiple times today. So
let's see here.
Do you know which president threw out the first opening day pitch in history? He's also the heaviest president. There's your hint.
Richard Taft.
William, but yes.
Yeah, Richard William.
Here's some other trivia, non-baseball related while you're looking.
The Rookie, based on a true story. It is based on the true story of Jim Morris. Jim Morris. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
Who did have he was, yeah. Now, Jack, he was like he was like one of the main guys in the 80s. He was like top guy, one of them.
I think he might have actually came up with like the Blue Jays or something.
I think he did. I think he might have been on one of those Blue Jays championship
teams. We might have seen him down here in the KJs when we were kids.
Well, it said he started that one in 91, and that was said last
one. I believe that's 93.
93. So that if that was the Blue Jays, that was right around when they were winning championships like that. Bastards. Hate them. So, yeah, man. Oh, so William Taft, largest president, fattest, it's not so I say fattest, is the only person in history to serve in 2 of the 3 highest offices in the land.
Really?
He was president of these United States and also a Supreme Court justice.
Not many fatties.
How about that one? That's a pretty successful damn career, is it not?
That is. To be a fatty.
Yeah.
No, it is. Let's see. Jackie Robinson played first base in his major league debut.
1947.
April 15th at Wrigley Field, where the Dodgers took on the Cubs. Yeah. So, most runs scored on opening day in MLB history. The D-backs. Do I have to call them D-backs?
Fuck them. After that shit in 2001, I don't care if you call them.
Oh my God!
Anything.
Would you lighten up, Francis?
You're the one that's
big sissy.
You're the one that's down on their damn mascot.
Well, that's
I'm just
fine,
telling you.
I'm not just sitting there just crying like a big baby. over every team that's ever beat the fucking Yankees before. Okay, pull for them. They had chicken noodle soup.
Well,
And
it's
we
not
only
a whole
had
lot.
cream of broccoli soup.
The only saving grace there is there's not a lot of teams that
Golly.
have done that, so that's good.
You'd think.
Apparently, he was not on Supreme Court. He turned down. He was nominated, but he turned it down.
Okay.
So the hell with my trivia. Anyway,
Any rate,
D-backs.
the Diamondbacks drubbed the Rockies with historic offensive outburst with 14 runs, or the most scored in a single inning on opening day in the modern era since 1900, and the fourth most scored in a single inning of any game over that span.
Wow.
These are called fun facts, Jamie.
Fun facts. They are fun.
Not when you start your whining.
Some things I won't get over. That damn bullshit hook shot that Magic made on the Celtics from the damn foul line.
Yeah, that's
never
the worst.
getting over that. Ever.
Yeah, we've done all that. Okay, so
this year's baseball season, what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, there's a question that I want to
Good.
I want to address because I don't know the answer to it, and I have heard, and you might know, are they doing the automatic or the automated strike zone in MLB for 2025?
No. I think they're going to experiment with it though in the minors. I think.
Well, they've been doing that.
Okay.
I know, but
or continued.
I've caught bits and pieces of that during the in some of the shows that I watch, like Dan Patrick and different ones, different insiders that come on and that Tim Kershaw and different ones who cover who's always been baseball covered.
Is the consensus that needs to happen from all those folks?
I think it's coming.
One way or another.
Yeah, I was just curious if it was actually going to happen in 2025. The talks between everything that I've seen and heard is that it's going to happen. I just didn't know if it was going to happen.
How is that? Do you think, not to get on too big of a tangent on it, do you think that's going to help the hitters or the pitchers mostly? That's what I don't think anybody knows, but I would like to, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out because.
Well, my first guess would be that it's going to help the hitters more.
I mean, yeah,
because
if you're somebody like Tony Gwynn that knows the strike zone within a millimeter, probably.
That, obviously, but I think you think about, okay, let's make an analogy here for us. So if you get up there, you're a player and you get up there and you've got a guy that, maybe this guy calls low strikes, but he calls them low strikes the entire game. Okay, then you have to, in your approach and in your mental approach and getting ready, Jimmy Lipper's calling behind the plate today. Low strikes, be on the lookout. Don't go down looking, be swinging if something's close and it's low. So, but if you got, Joey Bananas is working behind the plate today, and who knows what the fuck he calls. Sometimes he calls them high, sometimes he calls them inside.
Or it's Angel Hernandez.
Correct. But so you've got
they retired. But.
The inconsistency of Joey Bananas, let's say. Well, what are you going to have a better chance at as a hitter?
If I know what I'm dealing with.
Right. If you've got consistency and you know what you're dealing with. If we're singing at a thing and we got a sound guy that every time you try to put a little inflection or, and you're actually know-how and capable of working the microphone, and he's back there twisting and turning and sliding and fading, and you're just a it's just a guessing match for you on how to sing versus you got that guy that sets it and forgets it. He's as much a pro as you are, and he lets you do your thing. Or, I would say none of those may be good analogies, but
no, they are.
But I would say the consistency of knowing would be an advantage to the hitters.
Are they? Have you seen them use it in the other leagues?
No, I have not.
I wonder what the strike zone is going to look like, because when I grew up, the strike zone was from the letters to the knees.
Yeah, of course,
and it's never called that way.
No.
So, are they going to waist to the knees? Is that going to be it? Because that's basically what they call.
I don't know. There's an article here from NPR 2 weeks ago, everything to know about the MLB ball strike challenge system at spring training. So evidently they're incorporated in spring training. You might be able to speak on it when you get back from your spring training.
I watched a few spring training games. I don't know if I was watching it close enough to notice that or not, but above the home plate, the pitch must strike. It says the zone's height is determined by the batter's stance extending from above their knees to the midpoint between their shoulders and their waist. The zone is unique to each player based on their height, obviously. So they're still saying mid down. They don't call that.
No.
They don't. If it's above the waist, they don't call it.
They don't call it on a consistent basis.
Not a consistent basis. Now, they might call it for dramatic effect when they're striking somebody out or whatever. And
here's another reason why I think it would benefit the hitters more is you think about pitchers like a Maddox. Now, granted, we don't have a lot of those pitchers.
Yeah, it's like been 4 in history. But I get what you're saying, yeah.
But you got a pitcher, let's say, who's got better control. Let's say you got a pitcher. Okay, we'll take a couple modern day pitchers. We'll say Justin Verlander and
Garrett Cole.
Or Garrett Cole or Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer.
Okay, any of those three. Do you think any of those three, to this day, Verlander, who's got 267 wins, could possibly, maybe, if he has 2 more good years of 20-win seasons, might get 300. But I'm getting off on a tangent. But do you think those guys get calls? You know what I'm saying?
I think currently, do they get calls? When there's no computer?
Currently, yes.
Yeah, when there's no computer, well, sure. Yeah,
right. No doubt because you're talking about something that's got, and I'm not taking up for the umpires, but to be fair, you're talking about something an inch in any direction. It could be a baller strike.
At 100 miles an hour.
100 miles an hour.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like.
So I do think, and I also think the only reason baseball, because of prior rule changes leading up to this, would think about changing it and implementing it, and knowing that it's gotten already into spring training at the major league level, and they've tested it. This is a guess by recollection, but I think they've tested it like 4 or 5 years now in minors. That tells me from rule changes they made up until this point that, they're making that for the betterment of the game and to move the game along and to create more offense.
Well, at least they think they are.
Right.
That's the guess.
That's the guess behind
I could see that.
What they're thinking. So I would think, just right off the top of my head, I would think it would be
create more offense.
It would create more offense, and it would be much more of an advantage for the hitter.
I bet the walks go up too.
Could. Yeah, I mean.
Got to. I mean, here's the thing. You know what really screwed baseball? is television with the way you can watch the strike zone from the home. That's something I really miss in person.
Yeah.
Because here's a good example. I was sitting on the damn first base line, halfway between first base and the outfield, not quite halfway, closer to first. Okay, on the foul line, right there, 10 rows deep, 11th row, I think is what we're on. Yeah. Great, good seats. All right.
Short fielder.
Yeah, this whole crowd
on first base.
Apparently, there's a bunch of regulars that sit there, and every time the other team would throw a pitch and we wouldn't get the call, they were like, "Oh, what there?" And I'm like, "Dude, you have no fucking idea. You only can see up and down from here."
Yeah, no.
And I miss that rectangle. And that's what's created this, because every time they miss a damn strike or ball call, the whole world knows it.
HD, 4K.
That's right.
Look at and now, we can shoot we can do it here in the honky tonk, and I mean, everything. Perfect example was like, I guess it was, I don't know, it was a few years ago. We always had a Halloween party, at Carl's. He lived in a neighborhood that would, there'd be 400 trick-or-treaters. So, what's the perfect thing to do? Well, let's make chili, first of all. Everybody bring beer and a bag of candy.
Sit out in the driveway.
Dress up on the porch, and we'd be on the front porch handing out candy, and then on the back porch had a big, 65-inch TV out there.
Basically, perfect evening.
Had scary movies on.
Perfect evening. But we were talking about some of the older scary movies and stuff that scared us on the front porch, and when I got to the back porch, whatever movie was playing at the time had ended. I put on Children of the Corn. The
original. And on that 65 HD super duper whoop it Kung Fu Double Black Chopper 2000 model looked like shit.
Real? Oh, well, because it was filmed in the 80s.
Yeah. And there was nothing done to
master it.
Or convert it, or, so it wasn't near scary.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to your point, with having the box and the tracer and everything being in ultra high def, slow mo. I mean, when you can read the fucking name of the ball, who makes the ball, and
you've got 30 seconds to decide. That's the other thing too. Is this?
Yeah.
I'm throwing it 100 miles an hour, and I got to decide right now.
Yeah.
It's a harder job than we realize.
It's a much harder job than we realize, and the people that do that job, unfortunately, are the same difference between good people and really shitty people.
Yeah,
it only takes one.
Yeah,
to just create a bad name, and you mentioned it in Major League Baseball. The bad name was Angel Hernandez.
Maybe you can't see that he's older. It could have been a vision problem or whatever. But know, with the union, they should have done something about that sooner.
Could have been,
or not, just not put him behind the plate. Put him. Of course, he didn't do very well in the field either.
He's an asshole.
But one thing I think it could do that this is a trend in baseball I don't like. Okay, things we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to opening day. I'm looking forward to seeing the Dodgers fall on their ass. That's my number one, because if they don't win the World Series, then what? What do you say then?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they have, for sure.
This is a super team. It's the first time this is ever, this is over the top, really. They got, anyway, they got 4 MVPs on that team.
Coming from a Yankees fan.
Absolutely.
It's just kind of.
Oh, you're never going to get me to complain about spending money. I just want to see where it goes. Because we're on the precipice of something, $500 million payroll. Well, anyway,
we wanted to see where it was going to go last year, and you seen where it went.
Yeah. They were dominant last year.
Barring a nuclear holocaust, or every player breaks their leg
Injuries is the thing you can't plan
injuries, I just don't know.
Or shitty pitching. That's what I was going to get at is that.
Yeah, well, they signed the other Japanese kid.
I know.
I know. I watched him throw some the other day, and
holy hell,
man,
he's better than
He's
Tony.
got one that fucking backs up and circles over. And
well, they signed the other guy last year.
He's got one that looks like those Tom and Jerry pitchers.
Yeah, they got two guys that can, and Kershaw's coming back. They got 2 or 3 guys. He just
absolutely. And then you got, like you just said, I mean, you got Kershaw. You got a guy that can win the Cy Young and the batting title pitching.
Yeah,
you got
in the
Kershaw,
same body. That guy,
in the same body. He can hit you 4 home runs or 5 home runs. Well, he can't do that anymore because he can hit home runs on 4 days and then win a ball game pitching on the 5th.
That's right.
There you go.
And win the MVP.
And then you got
again.
Yeah, and then you got Kershaw, who besides Verlander is the next in line that could possibly.
He ain't gonna make it.
I don't think he will either, but just for sake of what I'm trying to say,
he's Dan Marino. He might be the greatest pitcher of our generation.
Are you done yet?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you done yet?
Yeah, I'm done.
No, you're not.
I'm done.
There's no way I could get that lucky. No, but he might be, other than like Verlander, he's the next closest 300.
Yeah.
And then you got, Nagasaki Nagamoto that's coming in here and is part ninja. I mean, obviously, I'm just made that up, but yeah, man. I mean, they're loaded for freaking bear.
Well, that's the thing about baseball that I don't like the trend in is that when we were growing up, and really until I guess the last 15 years, pitching was a big deal. You could count, like if I knew, I hate the fucking Red Sox, okay, but I give credit where credit's due. If I knew that Pedro was pitching, it was going to be a 2-run game total. There's going to be 3 runs in that game, maybe. Because, it's certainly on whoever they played. Randy Johnson's pitching, now you're getting 2 runs, maybe.
Yeah.
Maddox, name somebody you feel like that about now. Name one person you're like, hey, I know if Pedro's on the mound, we score 3 runs, we win this game. Name one. There ain't any.
No, I mean, probably those guys we talked about, but
they
won't let them.
But
they're not going to let them. It's going to be a team philosophy. It's going to be, it's going to be a starter, middle, and closer.
That's bad for the game, in my opinion.
Well, I think so. I mean,
pitching by committee is the same thing as running back by committee, and it sucks.
Well,
as an entertainment situation.
Takes the magic out of it.
Oh, we need to do.
It takes the magic out of it. When you got, it takes that moment out of it, like for the love of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Where I wish I could remember that freaking movie quote in that Vin Scully said. When Kevin Costner's character, he like knows he needs to be coming in, but he also knows this is the last game he's ever going to be able to pitch.
Yeah.
And he needs 2 pitches or how many ever they are.
Yeah.
It takes that out, and that's the human element. That's the magical, and a train's coming by. That's the magical human element of a fan being vested in this guy's life in that moment in time, and so I can get behind that.
Nobody's going to the ball field now to watch pitchers, and that's a shame. That's true. You got a pitcher that you can name one guy that dominated each generation of the 60s, Koufax and Gibson, and hell, name it, Seaver. And then you get in the 70s, 60s, 70s, Ryan. The names just keep going. Carlton, boom, boom, boom. And then you get in the 90s and you get really crazy.
Yeah.
Right? You've already got Gooden and Clemens and all these guys. Then now you got Randy Johnson and you've got Pedro and you got all these people. Pitchers defined baseball for a long time, as well as the hitters. And that's gone.
Yes.
It's gone. There is, which pitcher defined the 2020s? None. That's who. Zero. Sucks. And I know it's a money game and they feel like they can't pitch them, but it really hurts the game because every game now, like college for sure, is like playing a fucking video game. I mean, they put 22 runs on the board the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and granted, nobody wants to watch a 1-0 game every time, but a 1-0 game in the fourth game of the World Series is special.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. One of those Vin Scully quotes, who probably was the absolute best TV broadcaster, radio broadcaster in the history of baseball.
It's not even close, really. Probably.
But Vin Scully, and Steve, you get that feeling that Billy Chappell isn't pitching against left-handers. He isn't pitching against pinch hitters. He isn't pitching against the Yankees. He's pitching against time. He's pitching against the future, against age, and even when you think about his career, against ending. That's the element, right?
Yeah.
Am I just totally...
Now, let me ask you this. Now, this is a shameful thing to admit, but I've never seen that movie and just missed it, I guess. Is that a quote from Vin on a real game, or is that just from the movie? That's
from the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder, based on true story, I wonder if Scully actually called the games that he was in. Was he a Dodger?
No, he was a Tiger, I believe, for love of the game.
So Vin Scully was just playing. Vin Scully wasn't playing himself.
Yeah, no, he was. Well, he was playing himself, but just.
Got you.
Yeah.
Interesting. I haven't seen that. I like Costner, and I obviously love baseball.
Oh, you haven't seen that game?
No, that's what I was saying. I haven't seen that movie.
I mean, that movie?
No, for love of the game.
Oh,
seen the other two baseball movies he's in that I love.
It's a love story, on many different levels. Really good movie, but for whatever reason now I can't.
Speaking of movies, it really grinds my gears when people try to say that Field of Dreams is the best baseball movie ever, because it is most certainly not. Is it a good movie? Yeah, it's a good movie. It's
a wonderful movie.
But it's not the best baseball movie ever. It just ain't.
Baseball is the product of that movie. Baseball Correct. Is the antithesis of that movie, but that movie's about having a game of catch.
With your daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I love it. In my
opinion.
One of my favorites. Love Leota in it. All of them. They just do a fantastic job. But the best baseball movie is The Natural.
That's a good one.
It's got Robert Duvall in it and Robert Redford. You can't go wrong there. Can you?
No.
The two Roberts.
No, but I'm going to find that other quote. I wish I had,
while you're looking at, I was thinking about storylines this year. These are some storylines I'm interested in. One, definitely the new Japanese pitcher. I want to see. I hate the Dodgers, but I want to see. And you can't blame him for going there. Hell, the game started at 9:00, and the Japanese get to watch him. Why wouldn't you go there?
You get to be a star
and get a ring or more rings.
Yeah, that's here.
Yeah.
But you also get to be
Godzilla, right? I mean, you're huge in Japan.
Yes, you're on huge. In 2 different countries.
Yeah. So I'm interested in that storyline. I'm
interested in that.
I'm interested to see. This is a kind of a back storyline, but I'm interested to see where Rizzo's going to go, because he's still hanging out, free agent. Talking about him maybe going back to the Yankees. That may happen this morning. I don't know. Interested in that. I'm interested to see what Cody Bellinger's going to do in center field in Yankee Stadium. And right now he's lighting it up apparently. And I'm interested. This is Homer stuff for me.
He's a good ball player.
Yes, I'm interested in Jason Dominguez because this is put up or shut up time for that guy. They've been talking about Dominguez at the Yankees, Jason with 2 S's, and they've been talking about him for seems like a decade. He's only like 23, and he's switch hitter, I believe. Yeah, interested in that. I'm interested to see. I'd like to see Verlander take a run at it and stay 3 more years, but I don't think he will.
Well, I seen it. The reason I brought his name up, I watched the interview with him last night on Dan Patrick's show, and he's like, man, he's with the Giants this year. Verlander went to the Giants.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so anxious to see how he's going to pitch out there. I mean, of course, he'll probably do just fine. Hell, it ain't no bigger or smaller than that Minute Maid box they played in Houston. But no, he said on the thing, he said right now, he goes, man, I feel as good as I have in a long, long time. And we'll see how this year goes.
So says the guy that spent the off season with Kate Upton. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm here to interject.
See how he is?
I'm the color guy.
Yeah, you got that right. Color bullshit. Juarez. But no, he just said that, like, and the only thing that he didn't want to do, he goes, I don't want to stay too long. He said, but I also don't want to shortchange having played this game since I was 5 years old. Shortchange the opportunity to me, my career, and to my family of being that close. And then
translated to be the last person to win 300 games ever.
Yes,
probably.
Yes, probably so.
So
the Vin Scully line I was trying to think of is, so to set the scene in that movie is, Costner's playing what he knows is going to be his last game, and they're in Yankee Stadium. And his character's name is Billy Chappell in the movie, and Scully, and it's getting to that scene to where, I don't know how much I got left. Catcher's coming out and they're talking, and the call from Vince says the cathedral that is Yankee Stadium belongs to a chapel.
Oh, it's nice.
I was like, holy shit. Fuck you, Vince Scully, you silver-tongued devil.
That is good. That is good. What if he wrote that?
Maybe so. They probably just said,
talk.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you,
Yeah, here's my grocery list. Just read that to me.
Yeah, can you imagine telling that guy, here's how you want to call this game?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's something I was going to touch on the umpires.
My favorite real Vin Scully call is... there comes a long fly ball deep into the azure blue sky of Chavez Ravine. Home run, Dodgers. Yeah, that's my favorite real call Scully ever did. Go ahead.
Hey, well, fuck the Dodgers. That's what I was going to say. No, about the umpires. You're sitting there calling balls and strikes, but you're also calling balls and strikes next to Albert Pujols here, and you just told him that was a strike.
And also get some calls.
Oh yeah, sure.
Wade Boggs never got a call. Tony Gwynn never got a call.
Oh, absolutely.
Pujols.
But it's you're standing there in the presence of giants and basically trying to. It's a hard job. I wouldn't want it.
Oh God,
I wouldn't want that job.
Well, that's why they're begging people to come be officials.
Well, they're begging them to come.
TSSAA can't get people fast enough.
Well, there's one reason behind that. You fuck with a pro umpire, they kick you out of the game and put your ass in jail if you're in the stands. That's why nobody wants to umpire ref these games, because these parents are absolutely
demonic,
nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts, crazy. Listen,
I mean, not only is it a very, very stressful, high stress and hard job, but then you add somebody that thinks it's game 7 of the World Series and little Jimmy Lipper and Joey Bananas fucking T-ball game and is either going to stroke out or pull out a gun and shoot you.
Which has happened.
Yes.
Which has happened.
What I'm saying.
It's like
nuts.
I know I haven't said this to anybody, and I'm announcing this on the air for the first time. So like 3 people that know this in the world. I am coaching starting tomorrow a girls basketball team.
Oh Lord.
With my brother. Okay. And I told him this. I told him, I said, you're the head coach. I am not ever talking to a parent or a referee ever. Don't ask me. I mute when it comes to that. Other than, hey, your child did a good job. Don't come to me and say, why my kid not play it. I'm going to go. I don't do that.
With today's world and today's society, and rightfully so in a lot of cases,
it's a church league, so there's some safety.
I'm not taking anything away from what I'm getting ready to say, because do you touch them and put them in position without getting?
I don't know. These girls are 15, 16, 17 years old. Right, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
But you know what I'm saying?
Not like, baby, like, hey, move over that. But right. none of this. Oh, let me live. I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a fine line there. And I mean, but here's the other thing too. You know, you got a whole generation of people now that aren't used to being corrected. They aren't used to being whatever. I would never. I don't have the patience to coach in a very highly competitive, like a travel team or something. I don't have the skill set, number one, to do it. I'd have to really work at, but I just, it's too competitive. Like you said, I could see getting killed or the opposite of that, which is worse almost. I don't want no part of that. Can I coach basketball? Yeah, I can.
Sure.
And I could play it really well when I was younger, but I don't, it's a game, man. It's supposed to be fun, right?
Right.
That's the thing it's missing about everything. It's a game.
Well, it's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be about, it's supposed to be about the basics. It's supposed to be about planting and informing lessons.
Oh, absolutely.
Teamwork, hard work, sacrifice, not just for a game or a season, but for future life lessons.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
And, I just don't, I coached some back in the day. I never coached a girls' sport. I have a daughter, and I got to work with her and stuff, in softball and things like that. But, I don't know. That'll be.
It's such an important position. It's such an important position. I mean, it's very akin to a teacher or something, at school. But at the bottom line is that yes, all those things, I learned a lot of that myself in sports. Teamwork, sacrifice, being able to, whatever. All that's great. All that
stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah, that.
You signed up for this. You got to stick with it now.
It's still a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take it seriously, but you don't, right? The process you take seriously, whatever else. And if you've done the best that you can do and you lose the game, you still just lost a game.
Well, unless you're just head and shoulders and light years different and have whatever that is and have it, then, you can't, you can still be a great player. You can still be a good player. You can still be an average player. You just can't let it consume you.
Yeah, it's very akin to being an amateur hack golfer. It's like you see these guys and it looks so easy.
Yeah.
And then you get out there, and I spent the first several years of mine playing golf mad all the time.
Oh, God.
And then it dawned on me, I was like, I don't ever practice this. I don't have time to practice it. So why am I beating myself up about not being good at it? Why don't I just go out and take a walk, have a beer and a cigar, and have a good time? And it changed my whole golf life. Now I don't give a shit.
Absolutely.
But I still respect the game. You know,
I didn't golf for 20 years probably, and I was just like you. We played way back earlier in our
my first round of my life with you
in our younger days,
and it was 40 degrees. Broke a damn 7-iron completely off the shaft into a pond. You don't remember that?
Yeah,
that's the first time I ever played in my life. That was it right there.
It's funny, but
Dandridge.
Robbie called me up one day out of the blue and said, "Man, you go golfing with us? We're going to go on Monday or whatever it was." And I said, "Yeah, I'll go." I was like, "I ain't hit a ball in 20 years. I hit some up at the farm across the river."
Yeah.
Shit at golfers, just messing with people. But I had more fun.
Oh, yeah, it's a ball.
I didn't have any preconceived expectations or, I hadn't put any undue pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Put it in perspective. I remember thinking, it's like, you know what? Had I missed some easy fucking riff on the piano that I've played 4 million times, I'd probably be disappointed in myself.
Oh, sure.
But missing this 10-foot putt,
yeah,
gives a fuck.
Yeah.
And people want to fight on the golf course, God almighty. Anyway, it's a game.
Okay.
Baseball. Sorry.
So MLB.com. No, that's good. MLB.com has, I ran across these today and thought it was kind of interesting and thought we'd bring it up. But MLB.com is making one bold prediction for each division entering the 2025 season.
Wow. By division. Okay. This is interesting.
For the AL East, what do you think their one bold prediction is?
AL East bold prediction, I bet, is the Orioles win the division. I bet that's their bold prediction.
The AL East in MLB's one bold prediction is the Yankees will miss the postseason.
Same, very similar, very similar thing.
It is
because you could very well only get one team out of that division.
So it says here, that's the sort of sentence you type and then feel like you should duck afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's not that crazy of a notion.
It's not really. They've done a lot of bullshit in the offseason. I don't think so pan out.
The Red Sox may have had one of the best off seasons in the sport. The Orioles youngsters should be expected to take a step forward. Blue Jays, Vladimir Guerrero's final season.
There's something going on in Toronto that's not good. And I don't, they offered nearly $1 billion over to 2 other guys and didn't get them, Soto and I guess they went after that pitcher too. I can't remember who it was, but and then they want to offer. They're not even close with Guerrero. That's a Luka Doncic thing there. They know something we don't know. Like he won't work at it, or I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. It's a pretty good prediction. I'm a Yankees fan, obviously, but that wouldn't surprise me at all. That division's tough.
Well, it says as active and successful as the Yankees were in adding players in the wake of losing Soto, this team still has plenty of questions, particularly in that lineup, which was the case even before concerning injury news.
Rookie of the year
surfaced about Giancarlo Stanton and
DJ
LeMahieu.
Yep.
Upshot is, sure looks like Aaron Judge is going to have a lot of heavy lifting to do.
He gets to play right field again because Bellinger's a better fielder than he is, and that'll help some. But Gil, it's not Gil, it's whatever the kid's name is. It's not pronounced Gil, it's spelled Gil. He was Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah.
He's out for 3 months. So just announced today.
Great.
So he won't play till July. I know.
AL Central.
Luis. AL Central.
One bold,
All right, bold prediction. That's Cleveland and that crowd.
Yeah.
Bold prediction there is going to be that the Tigers win the division.
Okay. their bold prediction is this division will have one playoff team. Let's see where we'll skip ahead. Had not seen
Had 3 make it last year. That's
AL
why.
Central had not sent multiple teams to the postseason since 2017 until Cleveland, Detroit, and Kansas City all made it in 2024.
So they're saying that's going to be reduced to one team.
That's what they're saying. White Sox won't be as bad in 2025, will they? Right.
They can't. They had the worst season in history.
The Royals, may have overperformed last year and still don't look like they have enough offense. Tigers missed out on opportunities to add substantiality to their exciting young core. The Guardians didn't add much of anything as usual. Heck, you could make. So who is it?
They're not going to say, but it's going to be Cleveland if it's just one. But I can tell you right now that I think it's going to, that's why I said I don't want to make it in the East, because I think there's going to be 2 out of that division.
Well, it says here the Twins, who are currently projected to win the division. Either way, wild card spots for the non-division champions may not be so readily available this year. 86 wins last year's total for both the Royals and Tigers might not do it this time.
So they picked the Twins to win that division after the other 3 teams made it and they didn't?
It says currently projected by Fangraphs to win the division.
Who the hell that is.
MLB, this writer for MLB didn't actually predict anyone. But,
okay, I got you.
AL West.
Shit.
Big news is Julio Rodriguez is going to win the AL MVP award.
No, he's not.
In a 20-season absence, the Mariners reached the playoffs in 2022. It seemed to be the start of a sustained run of success in Seattle. Instead, the Mariners haven't been back to October since, finishing a combined 3 games out of the playoffs.
I mean, he is talented.
Those 2 seasons.
He's good. They won't win enough games for him to win the MVP, though.
Yeah, he put up 147 OPS in 2022, 130 in 23. 116 last year. These are all above average numbers, of course, but they're not transcendent in the way.
I'll tell you, I'll pick that then. What I think about the MVP.
The major issue has been power. He hit just 20 homers, and 17 doubles last year. So, I don't know.
That's a silly prediction. I don't expect that division to.
That don't seem like a bold.
That ain't very well. I mean, maybe it is bold because it's not likely to happen. I'll tell you, he's going to win the. Well, I'll do that then. So
go ahead. I mean, we're getting ready to go in.
The AL MVP is going to be that guy at Kansas City.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Think he'll have another good showing?
I think he's got the skill set to be good for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of got. Because what's he playing now? Short?
It's kind of like Charlie Hustle Jr. in a way.
It's like Mookie Betts, really.
Well,
do
there you
anything. Plus, he hits for average. I mean, that dude's good. It's going to be him or Judge.
Yeah.
If Judge stays healthy.
He's fast as lightning, too.
Oh, yeah. He's, what's his name? He's a son of somebody. That's a player. What the?
AL West. I know it just as soon as is it Danny? Not Danny. What is his name? I want to say it's Danny something.
I wanted to say Faraday, but that ain't it.
Oh, shit.
It's somebody's son. That's who it is it not? A pitcher or somebody that we grew up with.
No, I don't think so.
Let's see who the players. Here we are. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, was it second base or short? I can't remember.
I think he's short, but I don't know why. It's because it's 400. Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby.
And he's shortstop. So he is Who's his daddy?
Mr. Witt, sounds like. Old man Witt's boy.
Old man Witt's boy.
Well, he's definitely a throwback player too. I mean, he's a hustler.
Some bitch is 24 years old.
Fast as lightning, can hit the ball with power, steal bases, hit it the opposite, hit for average. Excellent defensively.
Yeah, Bobby Witt. 16 season MLB pitcher.
Okay, there you go. But truly, wouldn't surprise me if he didn't wear batting gloves. One of them.
Yeah.
One of those kind
old school player. Grew up in an old school player house. Hell, his daddy played. Daddy won that son of a bitch. He was on that 2001 World Series team. Oh, God.
Are you done?
D-backs. Anyway, that's your MVP right there.
Okay. NL East.
NL East. That is
big, bold prediction.
That Phillies miss the playoffs and Harper, grows out a longer mustache. Fuck, I don't know. It ain't gonna be that the Nationals win the division.
It is, in their opinion, it is. The Braves will earn the top postseason seed. How's that a bold prediction?
Phillies tough.
Well,
man.
I understand, but
who's in that division? Phillies,
hell,
Washington.
How many times the Braves won 100 games?
Not many.
I mean,
it ain't many. Back in those days, they probably quite a bit. I'd say back in those 90s.
I mean, they did it with Freeman. They did it in 21.
Well, yeah, but the year they won the World Series, I
was looking for that World Series. I got a World Series program. I couldn't.
Who was in the division though? Marlins, Phillies, Nationals, and Braves, right?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Phillies are your competition there. I don't think they.
No, I mean, I think
he said the number one seed in the playoffs. Period. That's what that says.
Braves
horse shit.
The top postseason seed.
Not happening. No way. No chance.
Braves dealt with and still made or cavalcade of injuries and still made the playoffs. The fact they made it as far as they did speaks to the strength of their roster when healthy.
That's the big one. When healthy.
Yeah, they're
Acuna's been out 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Same injury. NL Central, Cubs, a bold prediction there. Let's see. All right. So, Cubs,
Cardinals, Reds, Pirates, Brewers.
Right? Yeah. Here's my prediction is that for that division, Skeens wins the Cy Young Award and Pirates make the playoffs.
Part of that is really bold.
The playoffs part.
I
know it, but I think that I think that Skeens is one of the most talented arms we've seen in a long time.
Oh, no doubt.
And I think that it takes a cornerstone kind of player like that to start. I think that they're going to be better.
The only problem with that is, in my opinion, is that Pittsburgh ain't going to spend the money.
Probably not.
Just like the Reds never spent the money. But Reds got Terry Francona as a manager this year, which,
I'm a Reds fan now. 14 on their and 14 all year long.
Yeah.
And that's
I like Francona. I know you have a history with him too.
He's a Red Sox. Fuck that guy.
Easy, Jamie. God damn. Can we make it through? We've only got one more division. Jesus.
You brought it up. I'm just here.
Jesus. Blessed, merciful Redeemer. No, I know, but I like Francona. He's a baseball guy.
He is. I like him.
And Cincinnati, as crappy as they've been for as long as they have been, when it comes right down to it, Cincinnati is a should be, and by anybody our age and or older, is still considered a baseball town. You know, just from sheer history, if nothing else.
Who's this now? I'm sorry. I was reading this.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, oh yeah. It was for us, especially.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And so I like that.
They got an upcoming superstar on that team, too. I think.
But, I mean, let's face it. I love the Cubs, but I don't see them doing shit this year. But I think having Francone, Tito
doesn't hurt for sure.
I think that helps. I think that helps Cincinnati. So their big bold prediction: NL Central, the Reds will finish ahead of the Cubs.
I don't feel like that's bold at all.
I don't either. I mean, I've said it for years. The first team to win 60 in that division is your division champ.
Well, that's about
first
right.
one to 60 in the NL Central is going to win the pennant, you know, or the division.
I pulled up a similar article on ESPN, and their prediction was that Skeens is the Cy Young favorite for this year. Which he won the Rookie of the Year. Makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're saying Cincinnati has a ton of young talent, but that has been the case for a while now, and they still haven't won a playoff game since 2012.
They got a good manager now, though. I mean, that's no joke. I mean, there's a lot of good managers I don't like personally, but I would want him coaching my team.
They've got an ace in Hunter Green.
Take that son of a bitch in a heartbeat to New York.
Yeah.
Over what we got.
They've got an ace. Oh, I don't understand how
extended
he
the motherfucker
I know
in the off season. God almighty, he's got something on him, I guess. Go ahead.
They got an ace in Hunter Green. They've got some fascinating young players who seem ready to pivot, and established big leaguers. You know, and perhaps most of all, they have an MVP candidate and truly transcendent superstar in Ellie De La Cruz.
That's pretty cool though that you've got two budding superstar shortstops now.
Yeah.
And that's not something you see very often. When's the last time that happened? Larkin and Smith?
Maybe.
In the National League?
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Cubs were aggressive in bringing in Kyle Tucker, but all the moves they made or didn't make in the wake of that trade have made them more vulnerable than they should be. Traded away Bellinger.
Yes, they did.
Fell short in their pursuit of Alex Bregman, and didn't do nearly as much as they could have to bolster the rotation.
Who did Bregman sign with? Did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Red Sox?
Yes.
Went from bad to worse.
The Cubs have locked this division down, but their flaws and holes are apparent, as they were before the Tucker trade. Reds, meanwhile, might be the team that has the most room to grow in the whole division. Might end up picking the Brewers above both of these teams, but don't be shocked if the Reds surprise. Well, historically, Reds always get off to a quick start. They always get off to a really, really good, fast start. But they falter, and right before the All-Star break, they really start falling apart. And then, of course, after the All-Star break, they're terrible.
Well, it's been 35 years since they got a ring, so they're due.
And the NL West one bold prediction for each division by MLB.com is the Dodgers will have their lowest winning percentage in at least 7 years.
Bullshit, too. I think they underperformed last year.
This is not that bold of a proclamation just because the bar here is so high. This is a team that regularly wins 100 games or more. In the last 5 full seasons, 98, 100, 111, 106, and 106, and their 2020 winning percentage was higher than in any of those years. It's not that hard to fall below those numbers. So, yeah, whatever.
I think that's some shit they pulled out of their ass. For me, there's no way barring...
Yeah, that wasn't so bold.
Not really. That's more of a
None of them really. I was thinking. I wish I'd proofed that a little bit more. But
the boldest prediction in there, though, is probably right. The first one, Yankees won't make the postseason. I see that happening easily. That's not.
I mean,
for an
all jokes aside, I could see it happening easily.
Oh, easily. Shit, they're
I didn't think
mediocre as hell still. That Giancarlo Stanton contract killed us. 10 years of that. Now, although you wouldn't won a single playoff game without him, they need to remember that.
Well,
not one. They wouldn't have made the World Series without him.
No.
He played out of his mind till then. So I'm going to pick my division winners.
Okay.
AL East, Orioles.
I'll second that.
AL Central is going to be Cleveland, and AL West, boy.
I will say Tigers. I don't know.
For the Central?
Yeah, why not?
AL West, I'm going to say Mariners. Just because, why not? NL East, Braves, NL Central. Shit, I'm still going to say Pirates because I think that, I don't know, I think they're due. NL West is Dodgers. It's going to be a Dodgers. I'd really like to see a Dodgers. If out of those teams, I'd like to see Dodgers, Orioles. I'd like to see Orioles in it.
Oh, I'd like to see the Orioles do good too.
Yeah.
I've always liked that. I've always liked them.
I
did a book report on Brooks Robinson back when I was like in 6th or 7th grade.
The vacuum. Like greatest fielder of all time. It really, it's not. I mean, that dude was an absolute.
Oh, massive star.
Jesus Christ. If you'd had him and Ozzie Smith and Alomar in the infield, that would be.
Yeah.
You're talking about crazy. So I'm picking the Dodgers to win it all. I don't see how you can't.
Oh, well, this next one is, and we'll end on this, but yeah, their top 5 picks to win the World Series. Number 1 is the LA.
Number 2 is the Braves.
Number 2 is the Bravos. Number 3 is the Phillies. Number 4, the Mets.
Get the fuck out of here.
They're smoking crack.
Soto.
And Rangers. Number 5, the Rangers.
That's a team right there. That's AL West. That's
6, Orioles.
Oh,
so
okay.
Maybe we're not too far
on. I like the Orioles. That was another team we got a lot when I was a kid because it was the same area, and those Eastern, NES and all that would have that, and I got to watch the Orioles a lot, especially when Murray and Ripken, both Ripkins, were there.
Billy and Cal.
Eddie Murray is a guy that does not get talked enough about.
No.
Is Eddie Murray the second greatest switch hitter of all time?
I don't know. I'd have to study on that.
Well, Mickey Mantle's the greatest switch hitter of all time, right?
No question.
So second's got to be Murray or Chipper Jones. I mean, who else is there? That big of a name.
Well, unless you just want me to reach up into my arsehole and pull one out, I'd have to think about it.
I think another question for me would be, Jamie, name 5 switch hitters. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah. I mean, he certainly had his day and had his had a lengthy career, especially being a DH.
Well, he had 580 home runs too, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
You're talking about Murray, correct?
Yeah. But man, Chipper was awful damn good.
Oh, hell yeah.
And if he'd played in the AL, how much longer would his career have been just being a DH?
Or if they'd have changed it in time for him. Yeah, he would have played several.
I mean, I think that's what saved, not taking anything away from Murray, but, that saved his career.
All right, here's some Eddie Murray stats for you. Hall of Fame, obviously.
Yep.
Rookie of the Year. 504 home runs. 287 lifetime batting average. 3,255 hits.
Wow.
It's got to be in a conversation. Has to be. But he was on that team. He started with the Orioles.
Yeah.
So I got to watch. So I'd like to see the Orioles do well. I'd be all right. Be okay with that.
Well, Juarez, give us the final lowdown.
Okay. Well,
lowdown on Juarez.
I would call this a fairly consistent smoke from beginning to end. You're not going to get a whole lot of variation in it.
I'd agree with that.
It was, I like the size of it. That 4.5 inch reminds me of those Rothschild punches I used to smoke. And I think that it's very, like you said, very approachable. Got a little bit of pepper, very little.
Yeah. It was
just a little. I'm interested. I like that binder situation. I think it gives it, I don't know. I think it gives it a flavor that's not something you always get. And I would definitely buy a box of these. There's no doubt in my mind. I think Crown Heads hit a home run with this one. I'm anxious to smoke it in a different size. Like here's a different size right here, right? Mm-hmm. This is the Toro.
Yep, Toro or the Willie Lee, as they call it. The Willie
Lee.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're all over it. I think you nailed it. I would say this cigar, I think your magic pairing with this cigar would be, I think you could do an espresso with it, or it would make a hell of a cappuccino cigar.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I think there's just enough sweetness that wouldn't overwhelm the cappuccino. You get enough out of that to make this really nice. You get enough out of this to make that really nice.
I think that'd be a good pairing. This would be and the thing about this, much like the last one we smoked, you can smoke this anytime.
I think so.
Today. I could smoke that in the morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that, when I say anytime, for me, that basically means, can I smoke it in the morning too?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by anytime. Because obviously, So I really like those, man. I think the construction was freaking flawless.
Yeah.
Burn line was flawless. Draw was flawless.
Yeah.
These are also something we've not had a long time, so pretty much straight out of the box. And really good, man.
Economical.
Great size. That's a great size.
Great size, great price point. If you want to know more about all of that or any of that, be sure to go to the website, goodguyscigars. Not today. You know the rest. I think that's it, and that's that. Looking forward to baseball season.
Me
I
too.
hope the Yankees lose every game and the Cubs win them all.
You might get your wish. It's possible.
But that goes without saying. You want to do another one?
Oh, yeah.
Folks, be kind to one another. It doesn't cost a dime to be kind, but it's always a price to be paid for cruelty. And
life is too short to smoke bad cigars.
There you go.
That's why we don't do it.
You heard it here. One more for the good guys.
See ya.
I'll be gone in the morning before the sun comes up, with me and my weenie dog and my pickup truck. Either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find. I said, now either way, baby, a good man, it's hard to find.